Hello all my Kenvians and welcome to a new episode of Discovering Steven Universe. This is the first recording that I will be doing after I went on vacation. It has been a very busy week, but everyone seems to be enjoying the Wanted special so far. At the time of me recording this, the one that's still left to go live is Lars Head, which I hope you all enjoy the reaction to that, and the review, obviously. But I'm changing things up a little bit today. The videos from here on out are going to be a little bit longer, primarily because in order to try and get caught up before December 17th, when there will apparently be new episodes coming out, I am going to be watching episodes 2 at a time, since that's usually when they, or how they air. So today, I'm going to be watching Dewey Wins and Gemcation. I'll do a review after each. So again, it's like these videos will be a little bit longer than normal, but I will provide a timestamp in the description down below and occasionally in the video here in case you want to go ahead and skip ahead to Gemcation. But yeah, hopefully you all like this. And I do apologize if I sound weird or if there are any strange cuts during the video here, because even though this is the first day I'm actually able to record, it is also a day in which my allergies are in full-blown "we're not gonna let you breathe through your nose" mode. So yeah, I'm going to try my best to keep the sniffles to a minimum, but if there are any cuts, it's because I've, stopped to blow my nose. But anyway, enough talking from me. Let's get started with Dewey Wins. And go.
But I'm hurt. No, you're not. You're safe. You're here. I'm here. We're safe.
Oh, Steven. Emotionally, bro. Oh, no. Even Lion's annoyed at him.
But it had to be. And Lars is still in space?
Yes.
Yeah, he is. Do about it. That is right. Jack and Scott. Steven, and it's totally my fault.
I don't know, Universe. It doesn't look good.
How's this?
I'm kind of overwhelmed. There's a bunch of different aspects of the storyline crossing over at once.
Even when I ran for mayor of high school.
Oh, what about my friend Lars?
Who?
What? Lars? Lars Barriga?
Uh-oh.
Mr. and Mrs. Barriga's son? Did you even know?
Doop, doop.
12 people have seen it.
12 people? That's half the town! In this universe, I don't know many. When the mayor crashes the mayor-mobile into the only cell tower in town, it's the mayor's fault. Most people can't handle that kind of pressure. But I can!
Responsibility for the welfare and safety of Beach City together. Thank you.
Wow. I mean, yeah.
That's probably how Connie feels.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but I've got to find a new job.
Oh. Oh. Oh, wait. Okay. So, alright, there's absolutely no break in between the episodes, the way I'm watching it right now. Okay. Dewey Wins. Well, that was a misdirect, obviously. Based on, I can't remember the election. I want to say maybe it was the election of Eisenhower? That might be wrong, though, but regardless, one of the presidential elections, this one newspaper put out that, this one candidate won. It's blank wins on the newspapers, and, started putting those out and announcing it before the final results actually came in. And then if it was Eisenhower, it was actually Eisenhower wins, and the person on the newspapers did not win. So that's what that was a good misdirect there. I like the way they did that. Alright, so from what I've been told in the comments is like the tone of this season is very different, or at least the way they approach things is different in how sort of the plot progresses. This is the example of a townie episode, which really has ties into the main plot more so than a lot of the previous townie episodes, especially as it directly relates to Stephen and how Mayor Dewey and what he did reflected how Stephen acted, and basically Stephen came to understand how Connie felt. Which, to begin with, when Connie expressed that she was hurt, it's like, I don't... Well, obviously, this is a written character, but trying to get into the mind of a character or someone like Stephen in this case, I can only assume that that's one of those situations where, like, the character is just so elated to be home that he wants everything to just immediately go back to normal. So when something seems off, like with Connie and Lion, but, more primarily Connie, because Lion is mostly kind of aloof. But, she expresses that she was hurt. And even in that situation, if you don't automatically understand that she's talking about, emotionally, she's not physically hurt, with his confusion, it shows a bit of naivete on Stephen's part. Obviously it's Stephen, but not being able to acknowledge Connie's hurt and the way she feels definitely shows a bit of immaturity on Stephen's side, which again is understandable. He's a young kid, but I do definitely appreciate the fact that the episode was done in a way that it brought him to understand how Connie felt betrayed, why she hurt, even though she wasn't physically hurt. Although in this case, Stephen was physically exhausted. Which Connie may have been that too. Who knows how long they were searching. Or just trying to find ways up until Stephen actually reappeared. Another aspect of this episode, Sadie. Sadie in general, it's like, the fact the first time we see her, she's holding Stephen's shirt up. Just like, what? I really like the way that she was utilized in this episode, the way she expressed herself. And even though we didn't get really speaking parts from them, I don't think, but Lara's parents, just all of them together, I feel like was... It was really effective. And especially, we've seen Sadie upset before. We've seen her upset at Lars and other characters to a degree. But, I feel like this was the first time we've ever seen legitimate rage from Sadie. For understandable reasons, because in a town of apparently, if Dewey's to be believed, and 12 people is half the town, then in a town of 24 people, if he, doesn't know Lars' name, and then just calls him the Donut Boy, and then offers to, instead of try and find a way to get him back, offer to hire a new Donut Boy, it just... it's completely understandable. Sadie's rage, the parents' intense anger toward Dewey, and in the end, it's been kind of obvious for a while that Dewey's a bit incompetent, to put it nicely. He's had his moments, but he's definitely, for the most part, incompetent. He knows how to distract, I think would be the right word. He's been able to distract people from his flaws and what's going wrong in the past, but this was not one of those occasions where he was able to, obviously. So yeah, Sadie and Lars' parents, I'm interested to see what's going to happen with them going forward. Or will we even see Lars' parents again until potentially we see Lars again? I have no idea, but it's something interesting for me to sort of reflect on. But my next thing I want to talk about is Nanekwa, if I'm pronouncing that right. But her character, I've loved her character from the beginning. A very wise character, a very silly character. She reminds me a lot of Yoda. Her size being one element of that, but it's like she's very wise, well-spoken, even if it is a little bit silly at times. But especially that speech at the end. Like, there's no way to come back from that. Even if Dewey wasn't mostly incompetent, even if he was a truly effective mayor, I mean, after a speech like that, I don't know how you would bounce back from it, because it was a rallying call. It's something that inspired the entire town. It's something that inspired Dewey himself. It inspired him to realize maybe Nenef was the right person for this. So yeah, I found that really cool. Let's see. I already talked about several aspects of these. One thing that cracked me up, admittedly, the fact that Stephen pulled out a book of how to talk to people, and reflecting back to I talked about, it's like, Mayor Dewey was good at distracting people, of making diversions, finding ways to kind of make people not think he's incompetent. But then snafus like what happened in this episode occurred. He's had some issues in the past as well. But it's kind of crazy to look at that and think that, okay, this guy has been the mayor of the town for 10 years, but he's not good at communicating with people. Which, I mean, that could be said for a lot of politicians, but it kind of blows my mind. Because it's not an inaccurate, it's not something that's unheard of. Just someone representing an entire group of people, but not being able or not knowing how to properly communicate with those people and for those people. And, I can't help but assume maybe a little bit that that was a slight jab at certain politicians or a certain politician. We shall name no names. At least not here. But, yeah, I just really found that interesting. Anyway, and then the moment where Dewey actually quits. It was, again, it made me realize, the misdirect with the actual episode's title. But also, it brought about that moment where Stephen realizes that the way he feels is how Connie feels. Just to a lesser degree, shall we say. It was enough for him to realize how she felt. Maybe not know the gravity of how she felt, because Stephen was taken to space, could have died. So, it's not on the same level exactly, but it was enough for him to be able to see the error of his ways. And that's when he, really started trying to get in touch with Connie. And I mean, it can be pretty easily inferred there that at the end, he's been trying to get in touch with her, but she's not responding. So, I'm ready to get into the next episode, Gemcation. And I question how serious this could be, but we may have seen the unfortunate breakup of Stephen and Connie as characters, which would be, if that's something they explore, would be an insane thing to, explore, because it's like, since we've known Connie, she has been, the sweet love interest, the powerful love interest. It's like, she in many ways is stronger than Steven, but they've always been a group. They jam buddies, Stevani. So, I don't know, it would be weird to think that there's a possibility that that could be severed. Like, Stevani could be no more. I don't know. But let's get right into Gemcation, and I'll see if they explore that further, or I'm going to guess someone goes on a vacation. The Gems, perhaps. Or maybe just Steven vacation, and it gets called a Gemcation. I don't know. Anyway, let's get going in 3, 2, 1.
Hey! Steve Ronnie! Want to help your old pa over here?
How did you get in that situation, Greg?
One sec.
Steven! So,
Oh, dang it. Allergies are awesome. Apparently it's Steven that needs the vacation.
And your favorite dad.
Agree with Amethyst. Turn to Steven. Even you enthusiasm. Steven, it's a vacation.
Party guy, about 3 feet long, hissing, reptilian.
no.
Well, you might want to factor in a +1.
Uh-oh.
Oh, party guy, no.
Party
Great place.
Whatever horrible things he saw out there, you guys have to put it into context.
Oh, they don't know about Connie. Of course.
Limited. We've all tried to coax it out of him.
Huh. I didn't even register on that. It's like, that they wouldn't even have an idea that
Yeah.
there's something wrong with him and Connie.
So, homework. You and the Gems all like Connie, and I'm just worried that if you heard what happened, that you'd be mad at me too.
Oh.
Steven, of course we're not mad. I'm sure Connie's not mad either.
Well,
At least I'm sure she doesn't hate you.
okay, yeah.
That whole handing yourself over to... Steven, you don't get any service out here.
What are you even telling me? You've been to me this whole time, and I'm the service.
Oh.
Steven!
Oh my God.
When I didn't hear back from you, I was sure nefarious plot was...
Got room for 3 more?
Oh.
Always. Nice night, isn't it?
Aw. Ooh. I like that end music. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna have to pause real quick because I need to blow my nose again. All right, so with Gemcation, there was admittedly a lot that I got wrong while watching this, like while I was making my assumptions. I'm sure you saw that in the reaction portion of this, but I guess the biggest thing of all that, again, just didn't click with me. Maybe it's because I, at least these days, pretty openly share things, maybe to a bit of an extreme degree at times, but it didn't dawn on me until like right before Steven told them about like Connie's mad at him, that they knew nothing about like the issue with Steven and Connie. That's what Steven was so upset about. It wasn't about Homeworld, which he himself admits that, a lot of messed up stuff happened there. But that's not what had him down. It's like, he was like throughout the episode, especially in the beginning, he's experiencing just like this severe anxiety. It's like, these signs of depression. And I mean, there's an argument that can be made that, he might be experiencing these things for other reasons as well, but it actually is focusing on the situation with Connie, that he doesn't know he doesn't know how to cope with it because it's not something he's experienced before. But again, Greg and the Gems all think it's from where he got taken to Homeworld. That doesn't even, well, I mean, it doesn't dawn on them because they don't have an inclination. Like the last time they saw Connie, it's like, you know, she was leaving with Steven and Lion to go home. And again, I guess I made the assumption that he might have said something to one of them, but apparently not. Like even with Amethyst, which is the, you know, the crystal gem that he's closest to. I mean, they made smoky quartz. So yeah, that's this was a heck of an episode, I have to say. I really like the way that they're doing the episode structures this season. And it really has me excited to keep going and getting caught up with the show. Which, again, in case you skipped past that portion of it in the very beginning, I'm going to be doing 2 episodes of video from now on. At least up until I get caught up. Because that way I might be able to get truly caught up. Anyway. One of the things that kind of baffle me as far as this episode goes is just Ronaldo's messages. I mean, they were funny, don't get me wrong. And it's like, Ronaldo was being himself, which, you know, so I feel like too many people find him annoying to an extreme degree. It's like, you know, the previous episode, Rocknaldo, personally I found that understandable. But in this case, it's just, it's annoying to Steven because he's just messaging him, you know, he's being a friend. It's like he's trying to keep in contact, but it's not the kind of messages, it's not who Steven wants to hear from. So Ronaldo is accidentally being the annoying one in this case when he's just asking questions or checking in on Steven. So, I don't know, I thought that was kind of interesting. The vacation house. First of all, I don't recommend going around houses and finding one that's unlocked and unoccupied and then deciding to stay there. I think they call that squatting. And might be illegal? I'm pretty sure. Anyway, but yeah, the vacation house. First, I'm still a little bit confused as to what the deal is, because I thought, I probably misheard while I was talking over the episode, but I thought Greg bought the vacation house, but then it has rules about what can and can't be used. So I don't know, that seemed rather strange to me. And then there was Party Guy, who I'm sad that we never saw them. Based on the description, it was either a large lizard or a big snake. Or, well, 3 feet isn't gigantic, but, you know, or a snake. Based on the sound effects, I'm going to assume it had legs, because of, again, it's like, I don't know, it just feels that way. Maybe it was a Komodo dragon. That would be interesting. But we'll never know because Party Guy is never shown. And I felt very sad about that. Anyway, the one part that, again, this episode continued to confuse / surprise me. And I thought it was hilarious, first of all, when Garnet is in the hot tub and she says, "Join me, become a raisin." So I like that. But then she starts to explain why what happened to Pink Diamond had to happen. And I don't know. I know that Garnet has future vision because of Sapphire, but it brings up questions in my mind as to how, again, future vision works exactly, because one would think that Garnet would have been able to figure out, if not what had Steven upset, then like the right thing to say to help Steven feel better about the situation. don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it differently or incorrectly, but that just seemed really strange to me that Garnet wouldn't have really any inclination at all. Again, despite the fact that Steven hadn't told any of them anything, she seemed like the one that might be able to at least have some information regarding that. But I guess not. Now, the next part, really just the rest of the episode was excellently done. And, I mean, obviously it's been a long time since I've been a teenager. I'm 34. So I guess that, like, chronologically, that would make me 20 years older than Steven. So I'm past a teenager, past how old Steven is in this situation. But there's so much that you learn when you're a teenager, that when you're that age, that you experience, that you have to come to terms with. And in the case of Steven, you know, being that he's a half being of supernatural origins, or at least sci-fi origins, that despite that, he still goes through human things. He experiences heartbreak. He experiences loss, anxiety, uncertainty of, not even uncertainty of a battle with crystal gems or bringing someone back to life, but just the uncertainty of someone he loves, and like, other than his dad, is the person who is closest to him, suddenly seems like she wants nothing to do with him, potentially. Or like Greg said, she might just need some distance. Greg himself said that he's not completely over the whole ordeal, that maybe the vacation home thing is his way of coping or dealing with the situation. And maybe Connie getting some alone time is what she needed. So yeah, I admit it, I do hope that Connie isn't just... Well, I doubt she's gone completely. She's far too important of a character, and she's far too important of a person to, especially Steven, but, you know, the crystal gems in general. So even if, like, this results in the characters having broken up, I don't think this will be the end of it, and hopefully, like, a friendship can be salvaged there at the very least. I don't know, I'm really interested in seeing where this goes moving forward, and yeah, I'll thankfully be able to do more of that with these 2 episodes per video deal. Again, I know the videos will be longer than usual, and you'll have more of me talking than usual, which I know, I'm a rambler. They call... no, wait. Lord, they call a rambling man. I don't even remember the right words, and I was off tone because I can't breathe through my nose. Anyway, a little bit hyper. Caffeine does that. But, everyone, thank you so much for being here, for watching this episode of Discovering Steven Universe. I would love to hear your thoughts on both of these episodes in the comments down below, as well as some of my thoughts. I've been a little bit rambly and very distracted with, you know, trying not to sneeze during the episodes, and failing at least once. So yeah, I apologize if I missed anything or got anything wrong, but please do keep the conversation going in the comments down below. I'm very much looking forward to talking with you all about these episodes. And for any of you that are looking forward to more of these, especially as I work on getting caught up before December 17th gets here, fingers crossed, hopefully work doesn't make it so that I can't do that. I'm going to be doing my best regardless. If you would like to see more of these episodes ahead of time as I get them uploaded, you can go to the Patreon account, which is patreon.com/PapaKennMedia, and for as little as $1 a month, you can get access to the episodes of Discovering Steven Universe, Discovering Doctor Who, and others as I upload them before they go live on YouTube, or public on YouTube. So yeah, if that interests you at all, $1 a month. Hopefully that's interesting. If not, it's all good. I still thank every single one of you for all the comments and all the love that you continue to give me, and just all the support in general for PapaKennMedia. I'll shut up now because I'm rambling. Until next time, everyone, for the next episode of Discovering Steven Universe, I am Papa Kenn. See you next time.